three names of Allah. And that is Al-Malik, Al-Malik, and Al-Malik. Al-Malik translated as the sovereign Lord, Al-Malik, the owner, and Al-Malik, the king. So these are attributes number 4, 5, and 6. In terms of where they're located in the Qur'an, and that's what we look at first, we didn't look at that in the case of Allah because it's mentioned so many times in the Qur'an. It's, the number is huge. We said it was some 2,602 times. So that's, you can hardly find a page of the Qur'an where it's not present. Whereas Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, we looked at how many times they were used, and they were fairly frequently. Ar-Rahim was 114 times, Ar-Rahman 57 times. Now we're coming down to the names less frequently used. Al-Malik is mentioned 5 times in the Qur'an. Among those times, that mentioned in Surah Taha, verse 114, فَتَعَالَى اللَّهُ الْمَلِكُ الْحَقِّ. High exalted above all is Allah, the sovereign Lord, the truth. In the case of Al-Malik, it is mentioned only twice in the Qur'an. In Surah Al-Fatihah, we know Malik Yawmiddin, and also in Surah Ale-Imraan, where Allah says, قُلِ اللَّهُمَّ مَالِكَ الْمُلْكِ. Say, O Allah, owner of the dominion. And in the case of Malik, we can find it mentioned only once in the Qur'an. إِنَّ الْمُتَّقِينَ فِي جَنَّاتٍ وَنَهَرٍ فِي مَقْعَدِ صِدْقٍ عِنْدَ مَلِيكٍ مُقْتَدِرٍ. Indeed, the pious will live among gardens and rivers firmly established in the favor of the king. That's Surah Al-Qamar, verses 54, 55. Only one time. Now, the origin of these names of Allah, Malik, Malik, and Malik, is from mulk. Mulk, milk, or malk. All of these are roots. All of them refer to something in possession of others. When this thing is in possession, the person has the ability to dominate it, to keep it for himself, and not allow others even to use it. That is the basic meaning of mulk, malk, and milk, from which the names Malik, Malik, and Al-Malik came. Relative to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if we say that Malik, the sovereign Lord, is one able to execute his command in his dominion, as opposed to Malik, who may possess something but may not be able to enforce his commands in it. This is a basic difference in the language. This difference is not applicable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Malik, one who owns a realm, he has dominion over some area or some place. Whatever he commands, whatever he wishes done is done. Whereas the Malik, one who owns, he may not be able to exercise his will in it. He might be a child, or he might be somebody insane, he doesn't have his mind. So people are looking after the place for him. But he is the actual owner. So that distinction exists in the linguistic use of the word. But when it comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is not applicable. In the case of Malik and Malik, we can say that Malik is the more general term, Malik is a more specific term. But in terms of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have to say that Malik is the personal description of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whereas Malik describes his act. Just as Rahman, Ar-Rahman, was the personal description of Allah, and Ar-Rahim was the description of his act of being mercy. Similarly, Malik is considered to be the description of Allah as a personal description, whereas Maalik refers to his act of possessing and of owning. As Allah said in Surah Shura, verse 49, لِلَّهِ مُلْكُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ يَخْلُقُ مَا يَشَاءُ. So Allah speaks of the dominion over the heavens and the earth belong only to Allah, who creates whatever He wishes. So relative to Allah in terms of dominion, He not only owns it, but He is free to do in it as He wills. None can stop Him. His will is enforced, whether as Malik, whether as Malik, or as Malik. In all of these names, all of these, the nuances that exist linguistically don't affect the reality with regards to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where the whole dominion is His. He possesses everything that He has created. And nothing takes place in His dominion which is against His will.